Good morning, Respring family. This is the September post-board meeting update. It's also homecoming week. We've already had a phenomenal week. Appreciate all of the students and staff that have worked hard on making this week very special. Today at 2 p.m. we have our homecoming parade, and of course tonight our homecoming football game, and we're just looking forward to another wonderful evening together as a community. We had a wonderful board meeting last night. A few highlights. It was a short meeting, but a few things to share with you. One of the belief statements that we covered as a review with the board this meeting as part of our strategic plan or strategic focus is we believe in a culture of empathy and understanding where everyone has access to quality learning experiences. And I mentioned this last night, but I've worked in a number of districts and throughout my 20 years of being in public education, and I will tell you that I have not been at a school district where there are so many amazing educators, employees that are just working tirelessly to support students and who really care about each individual child. And all of our students come from unique backgrounds, but they all deserve equal access to a wonderful learning experience. And I feel really, really confident that our strategic plan is addressing the various needs that our students have, both learning needs and social and emotional needs, and really is targeted to help support them. One just side note that's really exciting, we are at our intermediate school, we'll be starting a robotics club. Mr. Keith Kramer, who's new to our district, has a pretty extensive background in robotics, and so the board has agreed to provide him a stipend to hold that class. As we look forward to the future of potential in our strategic plan of designing a new career center, having that be part of a bond issue project this April. One of the things that we want to include in that design is space so that we can have some STEAM, some project lead the way kind of engineering type courses for our students. Is something that we know is really engaging for kids and something we feel our student body really take advantage of. And so we appreciate Mr. Kramer and his willingness to bring his talents and skills to our district and support our students. So I'm sure more information will be coming shortly out about that wonderful, exciting program. Moving along through the agenda, one of the things we talked about last night, and the agenda is always posted online, so you can get on the agenda and look at the items that have been covered. One of the things that we talked about last night in my report is in regards to our attendance numbers. We have had an increase in attendance. I think it's really important that our community and patrons understand that last year at this time, we had 30% of our student body at home learning virtually. If you compare that to the region, based off the data that I've gathered from all the surrounding school districts, the average percentage was about 8% that the other districts had attending virtual school. So even Branson, I think, was around 13 to 15% that they had. So we had around 30% of our student body not at school. What we've learned as a state throughout the course of the last year through some of the data is that virtual learning, while it's good for some kids, and some kids are certainly successful, it is challenging for most kids. And that ability to be connected one-on-one with the teacher, face-to-face, is pretty critical for student learning and development. So we talked a lot about that. We're excited that this year, again, we love our virtual kids. We support them, and we are continuing to develop a model to support them. Mr. Siga, who's in charge of our virtual program, is working hard with our virtual teachers in our high school and secondary teachers at this point to develop a model to really support 712. So we're not using Ingenuity and we're not using the platform, but it's really done through our teachers with our standards and our curriculum. And we will continue to refine what's happening at the K-6 level. So I'm really proud of the work that he and their team and Dr. Kite have done in supporting our virtual platform. But our enrollment has also gone up. So this year there feels like a lot more kids on campus, which there are, because I think our virtual numbers are around 2%, 2 to 3%. I think around 40 kids total. across the district. But even as a district, so we have a lot more kids just in-house. So things are a little bit more crowded, as you can imagine, just back to normal. And we feel like it's been amazing having that. But our enrollment has also gone up by about 100 kids. We're up about 79 kids at the high school, 20 kids at the middle school, 15 kids at the intermediate. Gone down a little bit at the elementary and pretty stable at the primary. And of course, early childhood has expanded at least by 20 kids with the expansion of the classroom. So things are really, really going well. We just feel like it's been a phenomenal start to the school year. And a lot of that's because we have such a wonderful community that's just supporting our schools. We hear almost on a daily basis just stories of how proud our parents are about sending their kids to Reed Spring School District. While we're not perfect in all of our work, I feel really good that our staff is centered on doing what's best for kids. So just excited to have our enrollment at a nice point, and things are just really moving along in a really positive direction. Our building activities and things that the administrators and teachers are doing with the kids is much more back to normal in regards to teaching and learning. Kids are feeling more comfortable at school. We see a lot more socialization and engagement at school, which will help with their social and emotional health. We have a lot more supports brought in with social workers and those reset rooms. And so we feel like we're really moving in a very positive direction. And so the more we can engage community in a positive manner, the better it is for kids. Negativity breeds negativity. Positivity just excels what we do in our community. And so I just want to communicate that any administrator in the district, including myself, we have open doors. We're here to answer questions. I'm not going to say we're always going to get it right. I'll be the first to admit that we're not perfect, but we are centered on kids. Centered on doing what's best for all of our kids. And so if you have questions and you need anything, please reach out and contact us. Our communication efforts with Ben Fisher and our team has been phenomenal. We again are being highlighted across various media platforms, including the news, television, and news articles for the great, wonderful things that are happening. I appreciate all the support at the Hanging with Hirschi event, where I was able to at least talk about some of the impact of the celebrations that we've had over the last year and some of those highlights. I know that video is still available for your access and viewing. We're going to continue having Hang with Hirschi events as we move along this school year. So be looking for those. We're going to try to highlight different buildings so that you can have some specific questions answered and some really a deeper understanding of what's going on in our individual schools, which is super awesome. So moving along on that, one of the things we talked about last night is we have transitioned over the last few years to a new attorney group. We work with Ed Council. They're a phenomenal student-centered organization that's focused on really not only the law, but also quality school systems. I've had a lot of experience with them over the years. And so we talked last night about the potential of transitioning our policy services from MCE, the MCE is just through a different firm, to our attorneys. And one of the things that's exciting about their policy service is that they take all of our board policies and they align those policies to what's in our employee handbooks and what's in our student handbooks. So everything mirrors and communicates seamlessly, and they help navigate that each year. And so we're in an exploration phase. It'll take a significant amount of time to do that. It would involve the attorneys working behind the scenes along with me and others in the district to ensure that all of our current policies get transitioned to their platforms, and then as new policies are revised or old policies are revised and new policies are created, Ed Council will take that over. But really the handbook alignment is super critical to something that I've seen that we really need support with. And so we're going to continue the discussion. We'll meet with Ed Council next month at our next board meeting, have them come and do a little presentation and a little deeper dive into the discussion, but we're kind of moving in that direction at this point. The board did approve a few policies in relation to statutes that have been passed. So you can find those on they're in our agenda, and then you can find all of our board policies are made public online. You don't even have to request those board policies. Matter of fact, we would always just continue to direct you to the website if you want to see those, if you want some fun reading. Several positive things happening in the district. We went over those recognitions last night. Our federal programs department, led by our special services director, federal programs director, she has many titles, Liz Smith. She submitted that. Just a shout out to her and to our entire federal programs team, our Untitled teachers, and those others that support student learning. Great things are occurring. We talked a little briefly about district statewide assessments, or our district assessment plan, which was approved. We do that each year. As of now, we're moving forward with our instructions. We are diving into visible learning, which is probably what I think, what we've learned through the research is the best platform to be able to use to analyze data, figure out some collaborative structures, and improve teaching and learning. We have a team from that department, from that organization, coming out next week to spend time in our buildings to gather baseline data on things that we're doing well and opportunities for growth in regards to analyzing student performance and student learning and supporting just a collaborative, collective efficacy type environment. So really great things happening, including our professional development plan, which we discussed briefly last night, that was submitted by Dr. Kite. We have a variety of professional development things going on in the district, from early literacy strategies and to behavior supports, and then really teaching and learning pieces that are significant and leadership development. So there's a lot of different things going on right now in regards to professional development. The 4-day school week has allowed us to really have that time to really beef up our professional development opportunities. And so those days are being taken advantage of, and we are growing together as a staff. Just two final things real quick. The board each month will begin to approve our return to learn plan, or our COVID measurement plans. So we discussed that last night. The board will approve that. It won't necessarily be a discussion every month unless it is actually any kind of changes in the plan. As now, our plan has not changed from the beginning of the school year, but it will be something the board approves each month, and they approved it again last night, so we appreciate that. Final thing that we went through is talked a little bit again more about our building projects as part of the strategic plan, and just to recap briefly, we have community members that came together to develop a strategic plan that recognized that our Gibson Technical Center is one of the greatest assets to our community and our students, but it's also one of the most neglected buildings and facilities that needs to be addressed, or aged. I wouldn't say neglected, because we do a great job maintaining things, but really outdated. We need to keep that facility competitive as we work with school districts, and they talk about the importance of that center. They also talk about, you also see trends of school districts offering some of those types of learning experiences in their own districts. The more we can keep that cutting edge and really quality for those sending schools and our students, the better it will be. So strategically, we are designing for a new career center that will be located here on the high school campus. So we are deep into that with our architects and our construction managers in the design development. We'll have that information coming out to you hopefully in the next month or two. We're actually going to meet this week to talk about timelines on when we can start visit with the board and the community about what that really will look like. So it'll include an innovation center, career center. It'll also include an expansion of early childhood. We have a lot of students on that waiting list that could be served if we had the space to serve them. So it'll include an expansion of early childhood classrooms and a renovation of the primary building, and then another neat project that we're still working on. So I'll share that one at a later date. And some bus changes, and some different things. So we are proposing a no tax increase bond issue in April as part of our strategic plan. It won't raise taxes at all, but it'll help us meet the strategic plan goals and provide those supports that are there. So the board last night approved our contract with our architect for post work that's past the pre-construction phase. So that we kind of know what financially this is going to cost us as we go into a bond issue project. Once the bond issue is passed, then we'll be able to roll straight forward. Our goal is to propose this in April, and then to break ground in May, and then begin working on all the 3 projects over the course of the next 2 years and get those finished so that students could begin taking advantage of those. It's great to be a Wolf. It's great to be at Reed Spring. I'm so excited about the work being done here. Just grateful to have a wonderful board that understands the importance of student learning, a wonderful staff, and a phenomenal community. Come out tonight, celebrate the Wolves tonight on the field at 7 p.m. Have a great day, and go